pollution.
Daycare. Not having any time.
Job insecurity.
Career workers. A disturbing development since most Americans who have health insurance get it through their job. ABC's Bob Jameson is in Atlanta as well.
The big businesses which fill Atlanta's skyscrapers have watched their employee health care costs increase by 200% in the last decade. In Georgia, the average annual cost per worker has risen to almost $5,000. Delta's health care bill for its 75,000 employees has risen to $200 million this year. At the forest products company Georgia Pacific, the cost is $160 million, almost half of last year's profit. Georgia Pacific says the fact employers, rather than the government, pay for health care adds to the problems of competing in a world market.
The costs of health care in this country are so great and are increasing so rapidly that they threaten the profitability and the ability to compete.
Georgia Pacific, like 3/4 of big companies, now requires its employees to pay some of the cost. Nationwide, the average employee's contribution to corporate health plans has doubled since 1987, from about $500 to $1,000 a year. Yet the burden for big companies and the growing cost of their employees is often far less than it is for small businesses. An increasing number of small firms and their employees say they can no longer afford health insurance. This is the headquarters of Southern Pan Services. The Atlanta Construction Company has 150 employees. It stopped helping pay for their insurance when the premium quadrupled from $125 a month to $125 a week. General Manager Gary Harkins says providing insurance would wipe out this year's profit.
If we provided health insurance at the current rates to our employees, it would bankrupt the company.
2/3 of Harkins' workers still don't have insurance, like Bobby White. He supports his family on $8.50 an hour, and insurance would cost $100 a week.
Can't afford it. They can't afford it.
If White gets sick, he must rely on Atlanta's Grady Public Hospital for free care. But someone must ultimately pay his bill. And White's costs, along with those of millions of other Americans who cannot afford health insurance, are passed along to corporations and workers who are paying more and more. Bob Jameson, ABC News, Atlanta.
On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrials lost more than 7 points to close at 2863, the 6th loss in a row, and the trading was heavy. Overseas, opposition political parties in Japan have blocked a proposed new law that would have allowed Japanese troops to take part in UN peacekeeping operations. The Japanese constitution has forbidden military operations overseas ever since World War II. In Norway today, the teenage sons of the 1991 Nobel Peace Prize winner accepted the prize on her behalf. Their mother is Aung San Suu Kyi, the leader of the pro-democracy movement in Burma. She was not allowed to leave the country. The military rulers of Burma have kept her under house arrest for the past 2 years. In our next segment, Mr. Bush gets a challenge from the political right.
To help fight the corrosive effects of salt in water, every Lexus features airbag terminals plated in gold. Of course, we might have used a less expensive material, but it wasn't money we were interested in saving.
Norelco says don't shave your legs, baby them. With Norelco's incredibly close, comfortable shave that leaves you baby smooth, baby soft. Norelco Lady Shave Razors, dry or wet, we make close comfortable.
For years, Pledge has kept our furniture beautiful. Well, now New Pledge does even more. With a special dust-resistant formula called Dust Block, now Pledge actually repels dust. 2 weeks ago, I polished the word Pledge into this table. Watch. New Pledge repels over half the dust I'd get just dry dusting. Pledge knows our lives are a lot busier these days, but with New Pledge, they're a little easier, too.
New Pledge with Dust Block. It actually repels dust. From SC Johnson Wax.
Now on video for a limited time.
Hey, you're not gonna believe what I got you, Tank. Look, it's Fantasia. It's just for you. Well, all right, maybe not just for you. I mean, I gotta tell you, it's magic.
That's right. Mickey, yeah.
Between you and me, this was our only chance to get it, and I didn't want you to miss it.
Walt Disney's masterpiece, Fantasia. It's the perfect holiday gift.
Well, of course I got it for you. I'm your dad. Fantasia is ours forever.
When your voice goes because your throat is sore, new Extra Strength Vicks Cough Drops help. With twice the menthol, so they're extra strong, extra fresh. Try new Extra Strength Vicks Cough Drops. Extra strong, extra fresh.
George Bush has a new challenger for the presidency from his own party. The political commentator Patrick Buchanan, who once worked for both Presidents Nixon and Reagan, will challenge President Bush in the New Hampshire primary, which is in February.
Why am I running? Because we Republicans can no longer say it is all the liberals' fault. It was not some liberal Democrat who declared, "Read my lips, no new taxes," and then broke his word to cut a seedy backroom deal with the big spenders on Capitol Hill.
Mr. Buchanan called his candidacy a very, very long-shot thing. Still, New Hampshire has a history of rattling political favorites. Here's ABC's Jeff Greenfield.
In challenging the president in New Hampshire, Pat Buchanan has chosen a state that seems to delight in making life miserable for frontrunners. In 1964, liberal Republican Nelson Rockefeller and conservative Barry Goldwater were the top contenders. Who won? Henry Cabot Lodge, whose supporters wrote his name in on the ballot, even though he wasn't a candidate and never became one. In 1968, Senator Eugene McCarthy embarrassed President Johnson by winning 42% of the Democratic primary vote. That helped persuade Robert Kennedy to enter the race and Lyndon Johnson to leave it. 4 years later, front-running Democratic Senator Edmund Muskie got himself in trouble when he appeared to cry in public. He won the New Hampshire primary, but he was judged a loser because he got less than 50% of the vote. Runner-up George McGovern got the momentum and ultimately the nomination. And in 1984, Walter Mondale was gliding toward an all-but-certain New Hampshire win and a virtually uncontested nomination. But Gary Hart surged to a New Hampshire landslide and almost took the nomination away from Mondale. George Bush has tasted both the agony of defeat and the thrill of victory in New Hampshire. In 1980, he upset Ronald Reagan in Iowa, but was buried in the Granite State after a now famous Reagan one-liner during a contentious debate.
I am paying for this microphone, Mr. Bush.
In 1988, it was Bush who was on the ropes after an Iowa loss to Bob Dole. But Bush persuaded New Hampshire Republicans that he was a salt-of-the-earth kind of guy who loved trucks and diners, and he won. No wonder Pat Buchanan thinks he has a shot at roughing up George Bush in New Hampshire. The state's official motto may be live free or die, but its political motto seems to be not so fast, Mr. Frontrunner. Jeff Greenfield, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, the American Agenda.
That cough sounds bad.
When her little patient is coughing, it's the biggest thing on Mom's mind. That's why there's Robitussin Pediatric. Great tasting cough and cold relief. Formulated just for kids. From the brand more doctors and pharmacists recommend. Robitussin Pediatric gives long-lasting cough relief day or night, so both the patient and the doctor can rest comfortably. Robitussin Pediatric Cough and new cough and cold formula. Recommended by Dr. Mom.
Panasonic presents a new breed of smooth operator. The new Smooth Operator rechargeable razor unites the old-fashioned closeness of a warm, wet shave with the convenience and no-nick comfort of an electric. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. Smooth Operator wet-dry razors from Panasonic. Smoother than you ever thought you'd be.
Everybody needs some money sometime.
Only Western Union can get money to over 16,000 locations in minutes. Nobody else even comes close. Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
Nighttime, one of the worst times for pain. That's why you need new Ultra Strength Bengay with more pain relievers than we've ever had. Fast relief for muscle aches and minor arthritis pain. With new Ultra Strength Bengay, you can say goodnight to your pain.
Tonight on Nightline with Ted Koppel. Television and the William Kennedy Smith rape trial. What's the impact when cameras go inside the courtroom? Tonight.
Finally this evening on the American Agenda, what it is that encourages children to smoke. when they should know better. The anti-smoking message is getting through to millions of adults, but despite all the warnings, more children who smoke are starting at a younger age. Today in the Journal of the American Medical Association, 2 studies which appear to show a relationship between teenagers who go on smoking and a particular advertising campaign. Our agenda reporter is Beth Nissen.
He is on billboards, street signs, buses.
The Camel, he's in every magazine I've ever read.
Kids see him in magazine spreads and a full line of promotional products, T-shirts, hats, lighters, drink coolers.
He's cool. He'd be someone I'd like to hang out with.
He water skis, drives motorcycles, flies planes.
He's cool, smooth, he's rich, and he's very famous.
Smooth Joe Camel is one of the most promoted images in modern advertising history. Since the campaign that features him was created 4 years ago, it has stopped the decline of a brand that has been rolling off assembly lines since 1913 and started a bitter controversy over whether the cartoon that replaced the old camel is selling cigarettes to children.
The tobacco industry knows that hundreds of thousands of their own customers a year are dying off because of their own product. Who are the replacement customers? Kids.
The makers of Camel cigarettes say Smooth Joe is just as appealing to grown-ups.
Our market is not kids. Our market is trying to reach 35 million smokers who smoke another brand.
There has been no compelling evidence that Smooth Joe clearly appeals to the underaged until today, with 2 studies published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. In the first study, groups of high school students and adults were asked to rate their attraction to the Smooth Joe ads. The results? The researcher who did the study says if the makers of Camel are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to reach adults, they are wasting their money.
The kids loved him, the adults didn't. We found that Camels are 10 times more popular among kids than they are among adults over the age of 21.
Hi! And something about the ads appeals to even the very young. In the second study, children 3 to 6 years old were asked to match a company logo with a product.
Have you seen that before? What does that match with? Very good.
1/3 of 3-year-olds matched Smooth Joe with a picture of a cigarette.
How do you know that he goes with that?
He smokes.
He smokes. How old are you?
3.
By age 6, as many knew the Camel as knew Mickey Mouse.
Very good.
The fact is they're influencing 3 to 6-year-olds whether they intended to or not, and it should stop.
Have you seen that before?
No one knows if children who like Smooth Joe will become Camel smokers. R.J. Reynolds says it spends millions to make sure kids do not smoke Camels or any other brand of cigarettes. The company has designed an ad campaign that urges kids to resist peer pressure. Why would a cigarette company discourage the next generation of customers?
We do not want them to smoke because it can bring restrictions on us that prevent us from being able to market and sell products to adults who choose to smoke.
Restrictions are exactly what public health advocates want from the Federal Trade Commission, which has exclusive jurisdiction over tobacco advertising. The FTC has not responded to a series of requests that it ban the Camel ads and promotions as an unfair trade practice.
I think the FTC should have taken action by now. Tobacco is uniquely our most dangerous product, and kids are our most vulnerable consumers, and cartoon figures appeal to them.
The FTC will only say it will review the studies released today, review the newest evidence that harmful messages are filtering through to the nation's children. Beth Nissen, ABC News, New York.
And that is our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tuesday.
This is the most exciting moment of my life.
It's Hollywood.
I want you hicks to shut your traps and listen.
A first break.
Cut.
Where are your bags?
I'm staying.
Your what?
A last chance.
That is a lie. It's just like my husband hopping from one bed to another.
Wait.
Homefront, Tuesday at 10, 9 Central.
Entertainment Tonight is next. George Harrison slaps a tabloid with a $200 million libel suit for branding him a Nazi sympathizer.
Circuit City's Holiday Madness 12-hour sale is Thursday only, 10 to 10 only. Here's what's in store. Save on this Zenith 19-inch color TV. Thursday, a low $189.97. And this Sony programmable CD player, a great gift for only $99.97. Circuit City's Holiday Madness 12-hour sale. Thursday, 10 to 10. Don't miss it.
Celebrate the seasonings at Popeyes. Your choice of 2 great offers. 3 pieces of chicken plus a biscuit, only $1.99. Or a 15-piece box, only $8.99.
Last week on Eyewitness News, advice from a Baltimore vet who survived the attack on Pearl Harbor.
The main thing is that, Jesus, keep America alert. Don't let them forget about Pearl Harbor.
After getting a half-baked promise of free pizza for life, one woman decided to get Gelfman.
We came to find out that it was bogus.
And former at-risk students got the winning edge in school and on the job.
This year, I brought my grades up.
It makes me want to go to school.
Eyewitness News. We'll see you through. News with Denise Koch, tonight at 11.
He just hates everything that Hitler believed in and argued for.
Former Beatle George Harrison wants $200 million from a tabloid paper for portraying him as a Nazi idolizer. Entertainment Tonight has the story for this Tuesday, December 10th, 1991.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Entertainment Tonight. I'm John Tesh.
And I'm Mary Hart. Rock star George Harrison has filed a $200 million libel suit against a supermarket tabloid. The ex-Beatle charges he was depicted as a Nazi sympathizer.
Every bit of that is false. It's just a pack of lies.
Longtime Beatles attorney Burt Fields says George Harrison wants to put the Globe out of business and is suing over this article, which claims Harrison has a shrine to Hitler and dresses up frequently in a Nazi stormtrooper uniform.
He deplores everything that Hitler stood for, everything that the Nazis stood for, far from idealizing them, idolizing Hitler. He just hates everything that Hitler believed in and argued for.
Fields says the Globe argues they based the story on an interview with Harrison biographer Jeffrey Giuliano. In his book, Giuliano writes that Harrison was interested in Hitler, but states that he was not a Nazi sympathizer. The author, who is also named in the suit, says the Globe grossly misquoted him in the article.
Sometimes you're just roped into things, you know. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, I haven't even seen the papers yet. I don't know if this is even real.
I got my mind set on you. According to Fields, Harrison has his mind set on finding out if Giuliano or the Globe is the guilty party and then clearing his name.
It's the kind of allegation that once made is very hard to get rid of, because a lot of people in the world are always going to believe that George Harrison is a Nazi. And people don't buy records of people who are Nazis. People don't go to their concerts, and that's the way George makes his living even today.
The Globe had no comment on Harrison's lawsuit.
There are many actors who often play tough guys in the movies. Chuck Norris always plays the tough guy, but he did not grow up that way. As Garrett Glazer reports in today's Inside Story, Chuck Norris says he was often the victim. His father was the tough guy.
He was an alcoholic. Of course, in those days, when you were an alcoholic, in those days you were a drunkard. You know, it wasn't a disease as we realize it now.
Ever since Chuck Norris made his film debut 19 years ago in Bruce Lee's Return of the Dragon, this one-time martial arts world champion has been cultivating a tough guy image. Now 51, Norris has 20 films under his black belt. Chuck's latest picture is called Sidekicks. It's a story about positive role models and the need to confront your own fears. These are things that Chuck Norris told me he knows about from real life.
It wasn't that I was, you know, a wimp in that true sense. It just was that I was just a very shy and quiet youngster.
Chuck's introverted nature was perhaps brought on by his father's drinking problem. He told me his father wasn't physically abusive, but alcoholism made his dad behave erratically. He moved the family 16 times before Chuck turned 12. One particular episode still stands out.
This is one of the many times that we packed up and moved in the middle of the night. And he was drunk and driving very erratically on the highway. And my mom was hysterical because she thought he was going to kill us, and he got mad and was going to just dump us off on the side of the street. And so she talked him into taking us to my grandmother's house and leaving us there.
Eventually, the couple divorced and Chuck's mother remarried. But when Chuck was 16, his father threatened his stepdad. That's when father and son had a final confrontation.
I just said he wasn't going to do anything, to my stepdad, that he would have to, go through me first. And finally he just realized that wasn't the thing to do, and he left, and that was the last time I ever saw him.
Ray Norris died 3 years later. Today, though divorced from his wife, Chuck Norris maintains an entirely different kind of relationship with his own two sons.
They're in their 20s, and if they walked up now, they would give me a kiss. It's something that they're not inhibited about, and they never have been. There was an instance once when I took my youngest kid when he was in school, and he was like in the 6th or 7th grade, and I dropped him off, and he leaned over and gave me a kiss and got out of the car, and one of his friends was outside waiting and said, "Oh, do you still kiss your dad?" And Eric grabs and says, "Yeah, what of it?" And the kid says, "Nothing, nothing."
Through his program, Kick Drugs Out of America, Chuck Norris hopes to instill that same sense of security in other youngsters. The program will pay for martial arts classes in public schools. Norris believes that martial arts skills will give kids the strength to say no to drugs and stand up to peer pressure. Pressure he remembers from his own youth when he was tormented by a bully.
Every day I'd have to run by this gas station, and this mechanic would watch me being chased. Finally, he just couldn't handle it anymore, and he stopped me and made me face this kid and fight him. And I told the guy, I said, "Man," I told him how scared I was. And what he said to me, I still remember to this day, is that he says, "Running from your fear is more painful than facing it." And he was right, and I've never run since.
In Houston, Garrett Glazer, Entertainment Tonight.
Thanks, Garrett. Chuck Norris is co-producing as well as starring in his next movie. Sidekicks will be out next year. On our Inside Story tomorrow, Hollywood worries about its face and figure, and we're not talking about the ladies here.
It used to hurt me more when I would get reviews that would say, pudgy Kenny Rogers, and they wouldn't even talk about the music.
The men of Hollywood get all spruced up, and not just for the holidays. The Inside Story tomorrow here on Entertainment Tonight.
Coming up next, breaking up is hard to do. Just ask Donald and Marla. They're out stealing the spotlight again. And a little later on, catch up with Billie Jean King in the Heart File. Find out why she thinks your child needs more exercise.
This brings back memories. Oh, these are great. What's this remind you of? Tastes like vanilla, huh? Senior trip. Paris. The cafe. Yeah.
Rich, creamy tasting coffee with a hint of vanilla flavor. New French Vanilla Cafe.
I love this coffee.
New from General Foods International Coffees.
I loved that waiter. Jean-Luc.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm not a real doctor, but if I were, I'd recommend Ligament for occasional muscle pain.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
Red Lobster shrimp. Do you love it sizzling from the grill or broiled with a lemony new tang? Enjoy them together for just $7.99. Just one of 8 holiday-priced shrimp combinations. Now at Red Lobster.
They're back.
After years of marriage, Bedford, Pennsylvania resident Nora Dunphy told her husband she needed some space.
Day 2 and counting in the latest romantic adventure of the Donald and the Marla. Despite the reported breakup, the couple has shown up to say everything is hunky-dory.
Donald and Marla presented a united front at last night's New York premiere of The Prince of Tides. The pair used the occasion to dispel rumors that a public squabble this weekend had caused a split.
Such false rumors, it's just incredible. All the news is fit to print. It really is too bad, but that's the way they write about us. We can't help it.
And despite reports that Marla had flung her 7.5-carat engagement ring in Trump's face, there it was, back where it belonged.
I never lost the ring. People just talk too much.
But the Trump tiff took a back seat last night as the stars came out for the first look at Barbra Streisand's widely anticipated movie, The Prince of Tides.
What is she trying to survive?
Oh, how the hell would I know?
I think you do.
Come on, Lowenstein, you're supposed to be answering my questions.
The film stars Streisand as a New York psychiatrist who falls in love with her patient's brother, played by Nick Nolte. Although Streisand also directed the film, she was a no-show last night, but that did not dim the crowd's response.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm like here with all my tissues and everything. Fantastic, fantastic.
Excellent. Just stupendous.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Meanwhile, the cast and crew of last year's Christmas blockbuster, Home Alone, gathered at New York's Planet Hollywood for a party kicking off the film's sequel. Young star Macaulay Culkin was tight-lipped about the new movie's plot.
Better. Much better.
That better plot involves Culkin getting lost in New York and once again going toe-to-toe with bumbling burglars Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
I'm shaking already. I think I better go to the gym, start working out. I mean, the kid's going to kill us.
Hope it gives as much, you know, amusement and laughter to everybody as the first one did. I hope. And I hope I don't get hurt.
Macaulay Culkin was reportedly paid $250,000 for the first Home Alone. It's rumored he's going to collect $4.5 million plus part of the profits for the sequel.
Wow. Steve Martin stars in the new movie Father of the Bride, the story of a father who just can't believe his little girl is getting married. It's a remake of the popular 1950 movie with Spencer Tracy and Elizabeth Taylor. And not surprisingly, Tracy was a tough act to follow.
We are not getting up from this table until we cut this list down to the bare minimum. Now invite as many people as you want to the church. Pack them in. Build a grandstand if you want, but we are not having more than 150 people in this house on the day of the wedding.
Martin is paired with Diane Keaton in this remake of the 50s classic. Following in the footsteps of a master like Spencer Tracy did not intimidate the former stand-up comedian.
He's a great actor, and I think he was magnificent in Father of the Bride. Fortunately, he and I are different, so I don't ever have to run up against imitating him or feeling like I'm not doing as well as he did it, because it's just so different.
Yes, it's hard to imagine Tracy in a scene like this one.
Whoa, looking good, my man.
It has Steve Martin written all over it.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Martin's version is much like the original hit film, only the manners have changed to reflect modern life and its foibles.
$1,200? My first car didn't cost $1,200.
Welcome to the 90s, Mr. Bong.
That's Martin Short as an odd wedding consultant.
5 months, not much.
According to Martin, the film has something to say about the renewed interest Americans are showing in old-fashioned celebrations.
When I grew up, everybody got married wearing laurel wreaths and standing on hills and waving incense. And this is the first movie in a long time that has really stated that tradition is back.
Father of the Bride marches down theater aisles on December 20th.
Bruce Willis gets back in the action with his new film, The Last Boy Scout. He plays the last good guy in town, but he is not going to win any merit badges for nonviolence.
This ain't no game, Flash.
In The Last Boy Scout, Bruce Willis stars as an ex-Secret Service agent whose life has hit rock bottom. But then there's a chance for redemption when Willis teams up with an ex-football star, played by Damon Wayans, to investigate a murder and high-level corruption in pro sports.
Taking up a U.S. Senator is a pretty ballsy move.
You said it, Joe boy. That's why we're going to frame you for the senator's murder.
Willis feels the appeal of this type of high-intensity action film is simple.
People want to be scared. People want to take that vicarious ride, and you go in and you sit in this theater for an hour and a half, 2 hours in this dark room, and you get involved in this completely made-up story, you know, that is about rooting for the underdogs, I think.
What am I going to do with this?
Willis also admits that as he chases down the bad guys, the last Boy Scout gets more than a bit violent.
It's, you know, rated R because it is so violent. And these are not the only kind of films I want to do. This one just happens to be a tough film, a really hard film.
Although he doesn't really show it, Bruce did gain a little weight for the role in an unusual way.
Yeah, well, I was eating a lot. My wife was pregnant at the time I was shooting this film. And I was eating a lot of food to kind of keep her company, you know.
By the way, Bruce and wife Demi Moore named their baby Scout, which has nothing to do with the movie's title. The last Boy Scout opens this Friday.
Stars of the hit show Coach have to jump through a few hula hoops in tonight's coming attractions. The show goes to Hawaii for some tropical punchlines.
This is War, and I'm gonna kick his butt from Hilo to Honolulu.
Veteran actor Robert Prosky guest stars as Coach's mentor and rival in a big bowl game in Hawaii. But for Prosky, doing a sitcom with Craig T. Nelson was the real showdown.
I've never done one of these with an audience, and it's an interesting marriage of TV and live theater.
Would you like to do another one?
Yeah, I would.
The special two-part Coach kicks off tonight on ABC.
Men are spy. That translates to men are pigs.
In his second stand-up comedy special, Home Improvement star Tim Allen glorifies masculinity with his trademark male bonding humor. Critics call it a fast, funny laugh fest, but Allen says he was just trying to push the boundaries of the male myth.
How friendly can you get with another man without being obnoxious? That's pretty much what that's the strangest thing I came up with.
Tim Allen Rewires America airs tonight on Showtime. Known to Lawrence Welk fans as his favorite accordionist, Myron Floren presents an old-fashioned variety show bringing together entertainers from the Lawrence Welk Show. And Floren says the public's response to the music has been wonderful.
Like Lawrence used to say, he said, we stay around here long enough, the accordion will come back again. And that's just exactly what it did.
Myron Floren presents Stars of the Lawrence Welk Show, now airing on PBS.
I'll follow the sun.
Long-forgotten photos of the Fab Four have been compiled in a new book, The Unseen Beatles. The man who took them, photographer Bob Whitaker, stored them in his chicken coop. Now, over 20 years later, he's delighted with the reaction to the never-before-published photos.
I'm actually really thrilled with looking at my own work of that period of time. I think it stands up quite well even today.
The Unseen Beatles can be seen in bookstores now.
What Billie Jean King wants every parent to know about fitness, coming up next.
Come celebrate the seasonings at Popeyes. Do your mouth a favor with some great New Orleans flavor. Right now, there are 2 great deals for busy Christmas shoppers. Get 3 pieces of that delicious famous Popeyes chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for only $1.99. Or, here's a great deal for the whole family. A 15-piece box of chicken is now only $8.99. That's 2 delicious ways Popeyes says happy holidays. 2 great offers this holiday season. Celebrate the seasonings at Popeyes.
Presenting the Gripper Zipper from Ziploc. Now the easiest closing bag there is. In fact, even the little ones can close it. Hiya!
Feel the zipper. It's locking. Feel it close the first time, every time.
Ziploc bags.
With the Gripper Zipper.
With 5 powerful cleaning agents, Fantastic not only outcleans all others on greasy kitchen dirt, it's the perfect do-it-yourself cleaning kit for almost every surface in your kitchen and bath. 5 Cleaner Fantastic. More power, more places.
Do you see that? Get ready for the taste that will send you right over the top. Canada Dry Regular and Diet Ginger Ale. Always light, always dry, always young at heart.
Did we have to sit in the front car?
Now save up to $7 on selected Parker Brother games. Look for coupons on specially marked packages of Canada Dry while supplies last.
Tonight, the Heart File serves up an ace with tennis great Billie Jean King. She put the women's tennis tour on the map back in the 70s and still holds the record for the most Wimbledon titles in history. She has won 20, even more than Martina Navratilova, who has 17.
Billy hit network prime time in 1973 with a match they called the Battle of the Sexes.
Beautiful passing shot again off the backhand.
18 years ago, she beat Bobby Riggs without even working up much of a sweat. Now she's retired from tennis, but Billie Jean still plays for fun.
Just hitting the ball, feeling the ball against the strings and running and well, running very slowly, slow and dead slow. But I don't care. I like it. It's fun. It feels good.
You can do it, Lee! Come on! For the past few years, Billie's combined her interest in fitness with a new franchise business called Discovery Zone. It's an indoor playground for kids under 12. Billie owns franchises in 2 different cities, along with most of the company's stock. It's a concept she believes in.
America is becoming more and more obese, more and more inactive. Only a third of the children today even have a physical education class.
So that's where the Discovery Zone comes in. It's a challenging workout that builds muscles and confidence.
You can just see their self-esteem start to go up. Because they go, yes!
You won't find any video games or pinball wizards here. These games are specially designed to help develop hand-eye coordination. But don't tell that to the kids.
You ready? Ooh, hurry!
Billie loves to motivate kids. But in the end, there's a good reason she takes fun so seriously.
There's been proof that if a child's not active by the time he or she is 9 years old, most likely that child is going to be sedentary the rest of his or her life.
Good point. While she doesn't have any kids of her own, Billie clearly enjoys them. More than 120 Discovery Zone franchises will be open by the end of next year. And that's an update from the Hard File.
You might say the moguls hit the moguls this weekend as Hollywood stars did a little downhill racing for a good cause. In Park City, Utah, celebrities were treated to a Kenny Loggins concert by night and great skiing by day. It was all part of a fundraiser for the U.S. Olympic team. Faith Ford says everyone was happy to help out.
We all know that the money's going to support the Olympic team, so that's always a wonderful thing to support your country.
In New York, George Plimpton and Lauren Bacall were among the celebrities who showed up for the Guildhall Lifetime Achievement Awards. Honored for their work in the arts were Richard Meyer, Frank Perry, and Edward Albee.
The arts are there to hold a mirror up to us. And I'm afraid that far too often we want that mirror to be a funhouse mirror, distorting things a little bit.
At the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences in Los Angeles, several friends of Lucille Ball watched as her husband, Gary Morton, and Milton Berle unveiled a statue in her honor.
Lucy would have said the thing that she said whenever they honored her. She says, "Why me?" But I know she'd be very, very happy with this.
And at Carnegie Hall in New York, Frederica von Stade, Kathleen Battle, and Wynton Marsalis joined Andre Previn performing spirituals and Christmas carols. The Great Performances holiday telecast will be aired on PBS tomorrow night.
Michael Crawford is best known as the Phantom of the Opera. On stage for 5 years, he turned the murderous recluse into a real romantic heartthrob. Now he's back without the mask.
I don't wanna fly day and night. Bad enough you're going.
Michael Crawford has proven that he can sing much more than the Phantom in a successful concert tour in which he and a backup chorus perform Andrew Lloyd Webber songs from several musicals, including aspects of Love, Cats, and Jesus Christ Superstar. Many of the songs he's singing on tour are now on a new album recorded in a London studio.
It was with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra in London at Abbey Road Studios, and there were about 87 pieces in the orchestra, so that something like Music of the Night is absolutely live on the album.
Let your mind start a journey through a strange...
Michael's tour began this summer, the first time he had sung in concert, and he was absolutely terrified on opening night.
The water was pouring off my head, and suddenly 2 shirt buttons came off, and my cummerbund broke. So I had nothing to think of but getting my pants to stay up.
Love changes everything, brings you glory, brings you shame.
Crawford has been called the matinee idol of the decade, and he shares the secret of his success.
I open my emotions entirely, and you sing from your soul, your heart and your soul. I'm able to do that with Andrew's songs.
The The concert tour continues through March. And by the way, Michael says if all goes well, the Phantom of the Opera movie in which he'll star will be out in a year and a half.
We've always wanted one. Come on, the car's ready. Come on.
I try to tell my customers that it can really make a difference how you pay for something.
How much would you pay for?
For instance, their purchase will get extra protection with the Citibank MasterCard. I mean, after all, who knows what could happen? What if the item should accidentally break? Well, Citibank has a program that will replace it for free. Personally, that's why I always shop with a Citibank card.
Not just MasterCard, Citibank MasterCard.
The one-day sale was an idea created by Macy's to give you the opportunity to save on everything you want, on everything you need. Now, just in time for the holidays, Macy's one-day sale has savings on every floor, in every department. And because our sale is so big, Macy's has special holiday hours for your convenience. We open early at 8 a.m. and stay open late till 11 p.m. Macy's one-day sale, tomorrow. Don't miss it.
Direct from Broadway and the heart of rock and roll comes Buddy, the Buddy Holly story, the sensational hit musical that's raising the roof in London, Australia, and now in theaters across America. The star that had them cheering, the songs that had them bopping, the story that went down in history. Come down for the wildest night out since 1959.
For tickets, call Telecharge at 625-1400.
Deep inside every child, there's an animal screaming to get out. And that's the beauty of cable television. It encourages little minds to run wild. Because cable brings you more children's programs, more educational programs, more intelligent life than any single source on Earth. In fact, cable television is an inexpensive, abundant resource that can help your children evolve into something beautifully civilized.
1, 2, 3! Announcing the Dodge Triple Threat Countdown, but only for a limited time. 1, low financing, as low as 0% on Caravan. Or 2, big rebates, 1,000 on Dodge Dakota and Caravan. 92 Caravan rebates have never been higher. Or 3, get low monthly payments. Own this Caravan for as little as $256 a month with low 48-month financing. The Dodge Triple Threat Countdown. Low financing, big rebates, low monthly payments. But time is running out. Ends December 20th.
Production assistance furnished by MasterCard. Master the holidays with the Master Values program and save up to 25%. Only with MasterCard at lots of great stores everywhere.
Celebrating a birthday today, actress Raven-Symoné turns all of 6. Actor Kenneth Branagh is 31 today. Actress Susan Dey turns 39. And actress Dorothy Lamour is 77.
It used to be the ladies spending all that time under the hairdryer and getting their nails done. These days in Hollywood, it's the men who have an inside look tomorrow.
There's a first time for everything. Your first love, first kiss, first date, first job, and your first new car. For more people, that first new car is Chevy Cavalier. A simple, solid value that'll get you through the changes until the next first time. The cars more people depend on. And now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Look at those stars, like a billion dots.
Long ago, people drew imaginary lines between stars to make pictures.
Pictures in the skies? Constellations.
Each one tells a story.
Let's hear one.
Can somebody tell me one?
Well, that bright star above Roger's head?
Yep, I see it.
That's the nose of the dog that eats the clouds.
I see him.
Do your dogs eat clouds?
They would if they could.
Look, there's a satellite next to the dog. Is it one of your weather satellites?
Hope it's not a dog catcher satellite.
Bob Turk. Some friends. A starry night in Baltimore.
You can look at the sky and know that people everywhere can see the same things, even if they don't always see them the same way.
What does any of this have to do with Eyewitness News? Everything.
Sort of like one giant, great big family.
Yeah.
Sports with John Buren, tonight at 11.
said, honey, haven't you done about all one man can do with coffee? You've made the perfect cup. Sold 60 million coffee makers. What about tea? Tea, he says. But coffee is my life, my last name. Well, I said, maybe you could just sleep on it.
For iced tea that's perfectly steeped, perfectly delicious, glass after glass, the iced teapot by Mr. Coffee. What'll he think of next?
I sure could use a better toaster.
Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh,
a Polaroid one-step flash, the perfect gift. Now, under 30 big ones.
You can count on Sears for great Christmas values. This Craftsman 12-piece wrench set is only $29.99. This Craftsman 18-piece screwdriver set only $19.99. Tools made in America, guaranteed forever, only at Sears now.
The first time I switched pain relievers, it was from aspirin to Tylenol. Then recently, I switched again, from Tylenol acetaminophen to Advil. You see, I got these really pounding headaches, and I found Tylenol didn't always get rid of all the pain. So I tried Advil and found that for my really tough headaches, 2 Advil worked better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets, better than Tylenol gel caps. For my tough headaches, Advil just works better.
And for a cold, try Advil Cold and Sinus, advanced formula for the cold season.
Believe your eyes. Believe in fairies and lost boys. Find one pure, innocent thought and hold on to it. Because what used to make you happy will make you fly.
It's Peter Pan. Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, Bob Hoskins.
Peter Pan's my...
Hook. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Starts Wednesday at a theater near you.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna twist. Tater twister, big surprise. Cut some shapes, some curly fries.
Presto Tater Twister Electric Curly Cutter. Money-saving curly cuts from fresh vegetables. Spiral cuts, too. Thrifty, easy fun.
Tater Twister.
From Presto.
This is funky, this is rare. Something crazy in the air. Ooh, Malibu. You're looking like a superstar in Malibu. That's what you are. Ooh, Malibu. Sunshine fresh. Malibu. Musk.
How can we make this more severe?
Buick's pursuit of quality never ends.
I agree with that. We're going to make it even tougher.
We need to go in with higher speeds, higher cornering loads.
Because it's not perfect to make Buick perfect.
But it's not good enough for what we want to do. So let's go with 23% hill, maximum
quality that lasts.
The anti-lock brakes allow
even after a year of use, no domestic car maker is more trouble-free than Buick.
Great work. You sure you don't want us to run some more tests?
99 models, redesigned and engineered. GM is putting quality on the road.
This holiday season, people who have a lot to buy will find a lot to like in the Walmart price. This 1.1 cubic foot Panasonic microwave is just $149. Mikasa Celebration serving pieces are just $15.97 each. Or choose the Walmart gift certificate. It's always the right gift. The longer your list, the more you'll like it. The Walmart price. 'Tis the reason you'll be jolly. Walmart. Always.
Red Lobster introduces a brand new combination, and it's just $7.99. New honey barbecue shrimp together with new lemon broiled shrimp, just $7.99, but for a limited time. So hurry to Red Lobster.
Home alone, trick them every way. Oh, what fun it is to see 2 burgers get flambéed. Home Alone.
Home Alone, the Christmas gift of the year. $24.98 or $5 less with Pepsi rebate. Rated PG.
A lot of people think you become a star overnight. The fact is it takes years of hard work and study. Education makes the difference. To make your dreams come true, stay in school.
Wednesday. Bang my head real hard with this pot.
That's getting old. Earl.
Huh? No!
I'll always be there for you.
Dinosaurs.
Dan. Yep, all the same old faces were here.
Remember when you used to do your Jimmy Cagney? You dirty rat.
An all-new Wonder Years, Wednesday, starting at 8, 7 Central. Friday at 8, 7 Central.
This is Waldo. In evolutionary terms, he's a few million years behind you.
Family Buddies, then. It was a spaceship, wasn't it? Cody makes contact with intelligent life. An all-new Spacey Step by Step. Then Larry and Balky get hauled in.
Book 'em both.
You won and I'm first runner-up.
Perfect Strangers. And 'twas the night before Christmas.
I see Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
It's an all-new Baby Talk Friday.
Dear Evan, I'm leaving. I'm going back to the palm trees and the gardens and the fountains I love so much. Don't wait for me, Evan. The stores are open till 9.
The new Towson Town Center. You should see this place.
You want to know the secret of long life? Always park near the door.
The new Towson Town Center. You should see this place.
There's a first time for everything. Your first love, first kiss, first date, first job, and your first new car. For more people, that first new car is Chevy Cavalier. A simple, solid value that'll get you through the changes until the next first time. The cars more people depend on. And now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Weather with Bob Turk, tonight at 11.
I want something that lasts longer than my average relationship.
I want something that's more graceful in the kitchen than I am.
Because no two people want the same thing. Corning offers Revere Wear, Corning Wear, Corel, and Visions. Designed for living. Corning.
And now Visions is available in new cranberry, the perfect gift for this holiday season.
What's that fragrance you're wearing?
Make a statement without saying a word.
The stars of the movie An American Tail Fievel Goes West are at Pizza Hut.
Let's go!
Get your kids a pizza pack, including a personal pan pizza with their favorite topping and one of 3 collectible cups, just $2.99.
I'll never forget this kid.
Making it great.
I see your true colors shining through.
I see your true colors shining through. Don't be afraid to let them show.
Catch the true colors of the season on Kodak Gold Film.
I hated iced tea as a child. I remember my brother and I would go up and visit our Aunt Lorene at the lake. Every night she'd put the kettle on. Just when we'd fall asleep, that kettle would start to whistle. Night after night. Finally, I said to my brother, Mister, you gotta do something about this.
Now make 2 quarts of fresh brewed iced tea faster than you can boil water. The iced teapot by Mr. Coffee. What'll he think of next?
It's so quiet.
Static can get you off on the wrong foot.
It'll stop you.
Static can be a real drag.
It'll stop you.
And static can be an embarrassing slip-up.
It'll stop you. Yeah.
The more you move, the more static can build up. But you can stop static cling with Bounce. Bounce leaves clothes virtually static-free.
It won't stop you.
Bounce stops static before static stops you.
Someone's taken some steps to juice up their batteries. And today's Duracell batteries can even outlast the ones we made just a few years back. You can't top the copper top.
Freedom.
Lady Stetson.
Independence.
A declaration of independence. Wear it.
Saturday.
It's him, Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho.
It's one Disney treat that can't be beat. Winnie the Pooh and Christmas, too. Then, 'twas the night before Christmas, and Santa's in a slammer.
It means the end of Christmas on this planet as we know it.
Hang on to your seats.
Oh, brother.
As Ernest saves Christmas. Saturday, 2 good reasons it's a special season on ABC.
Boy, somebody must think we're special because we got Post Raisin Bran. It's premium.
Premium?
It tastes great, right? Because Post only picks the big, plump raisins, not little ones.
No way.
Those big, crispy flakes. Look close.
Looks bumpy.
Well, that's the natural whole wheat in the wheat bran. Somebody sure must think we're special.
It's our mommy.
Post Raisin Bran. It's premium, and that makes everybody feel like somebody special.
Captain Hook will never miss one Coke.
Keep it shut. The Lost Boys could be anywhere.
Oh no! It's them!
I got
Captain Hook! The last Coke in Neverland.
Let's talk about men and women. Did you commit adultery?
What we did was the natural thing.
If you take me back, you can punish me. Sound interesting? It is.
Civil Wars, Wednesday at 10, 9 Central.
What comes between this man and his Calvins? Barbara Walters finds out.
Okay, Calvin, 2 guys in bed.
I'm promoting safe sex.
On 2020.
Friday.
I'm Peter Jennings. There is only one station in Baltimore that brings you Eyewitness News and ABC's World News Tonight, so I hope you'll join us weeknights right here on WJZ.
The one-day sale was an idea created by Macy's to give you the opportunity to save on everything you want, on everything you need. Now, just in time for the holidays, Macy's one-day sale has savings on every floor, in every department. And because our sale is so big, Macy's has special holiday hours for your convenience. We open early at 8 a.m. and stay open late till 11 p.m. Macy's one-day sale. Tomorrow. Don't miss it.
Liftoff. We have liftoff.
These famous firsts were brought to you by America's favorite first new car, Cavalier from the cars more people depend on.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for?
News with Al Sanders, tonight at 11.
You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD shelf system that's incredibly powerful, compact, but what's really smart is this Magnavox 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds, but what's really brilliant is this 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. But what's ingenious is this 31-inch with a smart window that lets you see other channels and swap the picture. You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD... Again. Go away!
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
Natural goodness of Sargento shredded cheese makes any dish easy to prepare and impossible to resist. Sargento of Wisconsin.
With the holiday entertaining we're doing, we could sure use this dirt devil hand vacuum.
Well, this is a great price.
It's really powerful. And the revolving brush even picks up hair.
Well, it's a little late for that.
Gee, I wish someone would give me these non-stick Miro saute pans for Christmas.
I could tell Santa.
Oh, would you?
I might. You know, there's this really great video game.
Kmart's giving away 3,000 family vacations for 4 to Disneyland.
If we win, we probably see someone we know.
Honey, look what
comes on this new steak sauce burger.
We got a good thing.
Good? This is great. You can't beat this.
Want to bet?
Your way, right away at Burger King now.
The case of the mystery blonde had us all tied up.
When you can't get to the picture, only Minolta's Freedom starts zooming it to you automatically.
Shoot! The secretary. You hired her.
Freedom zoom cameras.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Hello? Jill? Oh, how about dinner at our house? What's wrong? Headache. I can imagine. Oh, I've got what you need. Motrin IB. Works great on headaches. My doctor said it's the same medicine as in prescription Motrin, but in non-prescription strength. One Motrin IB works as well as 2 regular Tylenol. Here.
Oh, no!
Don't look. Just keep this. Sounds like they'll need it, too.
Motrin IB, recommended by thousands of doctors.
And your neighbor.
Timex, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Wednesday.
The entire transformation will only take 3 weeks.
Doogie digs the shape of things to come, but will he blow a chance for love?
You only liked what you thought I was going to be.
Doogie Howser, MD. Then, John Ritter gets between Marty and Hannah.
Oh, that feels so good. But no.
It's anything but love. Wednesday, all starting at 9, 8 Central.
When it comes to making batteries that last, somebody's in high gear. Today's Duracell batteries can even outperform the ones we made just a few years back. You can't top the Comfort Top.
You can count on Sears for great Christmas values, like this LXI 52-inch projection TV for just $42 a month. Comes with 2 free surround sound speakers, a $100 value, all only $42 a month. Only at Sears Brand Central.
Norelco says don't shave your legs, baby them. With Norelco's incredibly close, comfortable shave that leaves you baby smooth, baby soft. Norelco Lady Shave Razors, dry or wet, we make close comfortable.
You can count on Sears for great Christmas values. Come get our lowest price ever on the Kenmore Ultra Wash 2. A fantastic $339. It's America's best dishwashing system. We guarantee it. Only at Sears Brand Central, now.
I'm a good example that you can get AIDS from heterosexual sex.
Find out more about HIV, the virus that causes AIDS.
It's showtime.
Oh, baby, come on, let me take you where the action is. Oh, baby, come on, let me take you where the action is. Oh, baby, come on, let me take you where the action is. It's so neat to meet your baby where the action is.
Actions do speak louder than words.
Dance, dance, dance when you hear that beat. Woo! Dance, 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 get up off of your seat. Woo! Dance, 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 let your backbone slip.
On General Hospital.
Meet your baby where the action is.
Very hot.
Bill Lenahan won $2.5 million after doctors testified he had been incapacitated by brain damage.
Professional witnesses, what would you call them? Professional whores.
Here's Bill dancing a jig and on his new boat. What do you think? Prime time, Thursday.
Farm fresh eggs, garden ripe vegetables, cheeses, and Bob Evans farm sausage. We took all the goodness you've come to expect from Bob Evans and rolled it in a soft flour tortilla to create a brand new taste from down on the farm. Introducing Bob Evans' new sausage, ham, and zesty cheese burritos.
Bob Evans, down on the farm.
Liftoff. We have liftoff.
These famous firsts were brought to you by America's favorite first new car, Cavalier from the cars more people depend on.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for?
News with Denise Koch, tonight at 11.
This Dodge Dynasty has air conditioning, AM/FM stereo cassette, power locks, speed control, tilt wheel, an airbag, even a warranty choice no other manufacturer offers. We've made driving easier, smarter, smoother, and safer. And incredibly, you can own this Dynasty for under $16,200 or just $249 per month. Dodge Dynasty, a great way to rediscover American value.
You can fly. With your feet on the ground, you can soar. Because the most advanced timekeeping technology on Earth has an IQ. Seiko Intelligent Quartz. So functions never dreamed of on a single watch are amazingly simple to understand. Seiko, the future of time. And the official timer of the games of the 25th Olympiad. Seiko.
My gynecologist said she'd been through it and you couldn't cure a recurrent vaginal yeast infection fast enough. Gynolotrimine. She said nothing cures faster or more effectively. It brings me early treatment and early cure. Gynolotrimine. Early treatment, early cure.
A cold starts small, but before you know it, your cold is full grown. Maximum strength Dimetapp relieves sneezing and congestion. 12-hour Dimetapp Extend tabs. Relief for the full-grown cold.
Next,
What's a dish like you doing in a dump like this?
Hollywood is calling.
I'll make $1 million and get my face plastered from here to yonder.
Homefront, next.
What about me?